In the West, it's no surprise that demons and jinn are absolutely everywhere. With the nature of this society, the nature of this community, we're going to draw them in. Negative energy that comes out of this place between the music and the culture and everything we do, it just is a playground for the jinn. Now, I've mentioned this multiple times, but I never expected to get to the point where the jinn are stealing. If you saw the title of this video, obviously demons can't physically steal things. They're not really in the physical realm as much as we may make them out to be in the paranormal investigation movies. But there is a lot of people with demonic or jinn attachments. And this month, we have had an epidemic where lemonade stands are being robbed. This is twice now. The first one is a child where this man pulls up and steals the physical lemonade stand. Now the second one is a man that walks up and is really nice to the little girl, pretends to buy some lemonade and just steals the jar full of money and walks off, waddles off like he's a character out of Club Penguin. And has this what we got to as a society? We have gotten to the point where we are robbing children of lemonade stands. This especially bothers me a lot because children nowadays, especially in America, don't really work for anything ever. They usually just whine and cry and then parents hand them everything they want. So to see children that are doing the right thing and trying to earn a bit of money for whatever they want and trying to actually get something in life without it being handed to them, they're being stolen from. This is exactly acts of the jinn, and it may sound crazy, but let me make it make sense real quick. The two biggest actions, the two biggest goals of the shaitan are to make us feel fear and to make us feel hopelessness. Making an individual scared, they can feed on that energy and they grow stronger, they grow more powerful. It's entertaining for them. They love to make humans afraid. And the second part is hopelessness. People are hopeless, it means they don't have much of a connection with God. When you have a strong connection with Allah, you're not going to feel hopeless at all. Now, in a situation like this, they're kind of able to kill two birds with one stone. When they rob a child of their lemonade stand, it puts fear into that child and it makes them hopeless. It makes them feel like the world is just cruel. It makes them bitter. What's extra disgusting is the first individual, I believe it was the first, the guy who pulls up and just steals the physical stand. He is driving a pretty nice truck. I'll pull up a picture. I'll actually pull up a clip for you guys so you can see it exactly what I'm talking about. He steals the physical stand itself, and the truck he's driving is not a cheap truck. That thing's expensive. I don't know the exact price, but it's in the tens of thousands. So it's obvious he didn't need the money, and I don't think he was really hurting for a plastic chair and plastic table. He was doing it out of spite. The man picked up the sign, the lemonade stand sign, and tossed it to the side. In the video, the kid comes out and you can hear him crying. The child was absolutely defeated because of this. The kid's out here doing the right thing, and this man shows up and just destroys it. And what's really disgusting is obviously he wasn't going to do this to another grown man. He was waiting for a child, and he waited for the child to not even be there. Not only is he a extreme coward, just a real full definition coward, but also he's just soft. He is weak. To steal a plastic table and chair is one of the most dumbest things you can do. He did this out of full temptation. Full temptation. He had those voices, the shaitan, the whispers, to do this act. And he wasn't strong enough to overcome it. He was that weak that a whisper to steal a plastic chair took over him. And people always wonder, why do Americans carry wireless hole punchers with them? It is this. This is exactly why the wireless hole puncher is a very valuable tool that I think more Americans should carry. And this whole situation of stealing lemonade stands and lemonade money from children is a very good example to picture and illustrate the philosophy of the individuals who are stealing land in Gaza. Before reverting to Islam, when I picked up the Quran, some of you guys may already know this, but I started studying the Kabbalah at this exact same time. And the individual that was teaching me the oral tradition of the Kabbalah told me to my face that if a tsunami comes and wipes out a village and kills everybody in the village, the women, the children, the families, everybody's destroyed, everything's destroyed, that it is a positive moment because a construction company gets to benefit from rebuilding it. They claim that there is no such thing as evil because something positive can come out of it. These individuals control the media, they control the TV, and they control all of the news in America. And what they have done is place this philosophy all throughout the heads of Americans to the point where they can rationalize and somehow justify stealing a lemonade stand and lemonade stand money from children. They would rationalize this moment saying that, well, somebody got something out of it. So is it really a bad act? It's a good thing because this guy got something out of it. The answer is no. There's not gray areas. There is a lot of black and white in the world. There is good and bad. There is good and evil. Not everything is gray, and we like to try to twist and justify things in America way too much. The reason why I bring this up is that the mother of one of the victims, the mother of one of the children that was stolen from, tried to give the thief the benefit of the doubt in saying that he may have just not been aware that wasn't a free item, that people put free stuff on the side of the road sometimes, and maybe he just thought it was free.
Initial thought was, maybe he thought it was free, because a lot of people, they leave things up by the road.
There's no way this is true, and it is absolutely absurd that this woman, this mother, is thinking this way. She shouldn't be thinking this way. That was her child. Somebody stole from her child. She should not be giving the thief the benefit of the doubt. She should be wanting his hands cut off. This is the Dajjal system in a nutshell. Exactly what the Dajjal was designed to do. It has its system, and then it has the physical. The Dajjal physical with the bulging eye like a grape, and then the Dajjal system, which is hopelessness and fear and just no freedom at all. Give up all your freedom to the government and be afraid of everything. Now, for the other individual that walked up and stole the jar of money directly from the children, I pray that this guy gets a meeting with Allah sooner than later. And I know that may not be the right thing to do, to wish that upon somebody else, but I really do. I genuinely feel that way. It's exhausting dealing with these individuals, and it's not fair to the children. The only way for us to stop these things is to go to the Quran. People need to open this book. They need to have the Quran in their life, or else this kind of stuff is always going to exist. It's always going to be out of hand. These individuals, the only way to keep them away from these actions, to keep them away from the Dajjal system, is to find the Islamic faith, to open up the Quran and open up your heart to it. And without the Quran, it's always going to exist. And I'm sure there's plenty of people who will argue with this and say that, oh, that's not true. And the Christians will say, just turn to Jesus. If you just pray to Jesus, you'll be forgiven. But I do believe there are some people that should not be forgiven. And I understand Allah is the most merciful, and there is time for these individuals. But preying on children is pretty low. There's only a few things lower than that. But this is exactly why Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world. People are starting to wake up. People are starting to see that without Islam, without the Islamic faith, without the Quran, society is going to collapse. It's going to fall into pieces, and individuals like this are going to exist.